Marvel just dropped the trailer for Avengers 4, and we've combed through it to find the most interesting and nerdiest info just for you. Let's kick things off at the end with the reveal of the title, Avengers Endgame. Now, Endgame is a term that's been mentioned twice before in past Avengers films. The first time was in Age of Ultron when Captain America and Tony Stark had the following exchange, which seems a bit more poignant now.
We can bust arms dealers all the livelong day, but that up there, that's the Endgame.
And in Avengers Infinity War, just before he died, Doctor Strange told Tony,
"We're in the Endgame now."
And the snapping in has an official name now. It's the Decimation, which we learned in the tie-in novel called Avengers Infinity War, The Cosmic Quest Volume 2 Aftermath. The A in Avengers is reassembling here almost in a reverse time stone manner, which symbolizes both the reunification of the splintered Avengers themselves, as well as, we hope, bringing back everyone that was killed by Thanos' decimation. Right, jumping back to the beginning of the trailer, Tony Stark is marooned in space aboard the Guardian ship, the Benatar, with just hours of oxygen left before he perishes. He's recording a farewell to his fiancée Pepper Potts, but have a look at his shirt here. Tony's been stranded in a seeming no-win scenario far from home before. He was even wearing a similar shirt, in what appears to be a visual callback to his plight as a prisoner in the first Iron Man film. If the Guardians can literally run into Thor in the middle of space, then we suspect Tony's not actually going to die alone in the cosmos. Also, if we ever have to go 4 days without food and water, hopefully we look as good as Tony does. Iron Man being by himself begs the question, where did Nebula go? She was last seen with Tony after Thanos killed their companions. And we see here she was aboard the Benatar at least at some point in Avengers Endgame, so maybe she left to go find help, see who else is alive, or maybe she left to go and kill Thanos herself, because that worked so well for her last time, didn't it? The Marvel Studios logo gets a pretty savage treatment here. Not even the studio was safe from Thanos' decimation. We see Thanos on the planet we saw him on at the end of Infinity War. In case you forgot, he won at the end of Infinity War, with the film ending in the sort of blissful tranquility usually reserved as the hero's just reward. Thanos apparently has no more need for his helmet and armor now, and he's turned them into a nice little scarecrow. But scarecrows are meant to, scare things off. So is this just for decoration, or is he actually expecting company? The Scarecrow scene is also a nod to 1991's Infinity Gauntlet comic, where Thanos has retired from villainy and is tilling the fields on a remote alien world. In that story, Thanos is retreated in disgrace more than gloating over a hard-won victory. As in the Infinity War film, Thanos acquires the full Infinity Gauntlet in the story and uses it to wipe out half of all life in the universe. The difference is that he quickly loses the gauntlet due to his own hubris and has his work undone. Thanos realizes that deep down he always wanted to lose, and faced with his own psychological weaknesses, he retires to live a quiet, simple life. He even uses his costume as a scarecrow, just as he does in the film. Back on Earth, Captain America and Black Widow have reconvened at Avengers headquarters. Mind you, the trailer doesn't reveal just how much time has passed, but clearly this isn't immediately after the events of Infinity War. We also see the saddest victim of Thanos' decimation seems to be Cap's incredible beard. With half the population gone, including those who have been pursuing him over the Sokovia Accords, Cap no longer feels the need to live as a fugitive. His beard's gone, but Widow still has the platinum blonde hair she adopted while on the run. Here we see Bruce Banner accounting for allies who've gone missing, Scott Lang, Shuri, and Peter Parker. We know Peter was a victim of the decimation, and we'll get back to Scott in a minute, but it wasn't clear from the end of Infinity War what happened to Shuri. Seeing as how the Avengers were in Wakanda when Thanos snapped, then maybe Shuri did indeed perish along with her brother T'Challa. Or perhaps she immediately went off on her own to deal with matters. Maybe she sought out an ally in this fella. He might not have been in Infinity War, but it turns out Hawkeye is alive and well, unlike these guys. Clint Barton appears to have adopted a new guise in the vein of his Ronin character from the comics, and given that 1,000-yard stare of his, we're assuming his family was sadly among those slain by Thanos. Here we see Cap still carries a photo of Peggy Carter with him, which suggests maybe something bad is going to happen to him, because if there's anything war films have taught us, it's the trope that any soldier who looks at a photo of his sweetheart is not long for this world.
Hi, is anyone home? This is Scott Lang.
And now finally Scott Lang has arrived at Avengers headquarters in New York, and he's got Lewis's van. The last time we saw Scott at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp, he was trapped in the quantum realm, with his allies back on the parking garage roof turned to dust. Somehow he's escaped the quantum realm, so maybe his pal Luis came back and heard his cries over the radio. The Scott drove from San Francisco to New York would mean that at least several days have gone by since the endings of Infinity War and Ant-Man and the Wasp. More importantly, remember there's a quantum realm mini-machine in the back of Luis's van, so now the Avengers have another superhero ally and a technological means at their disposal to perhaps undo the devastation Thanos wrought. With no Sorcerer Supreme on hand or Infinity Gauntlet of their own, the Quantum Realm is likely the best and maybe only way the Avengers can finally defeat Thanos.
Can you buzz me in?
That's the most interesting stuff we caught in the first trailers for Avengers Endgame. Let us know your hopes, fears, dreams for the film in the comments below. For more in-depth nerdery from the MCU, check out our breakdown of the latest trailer for Captain Marvel, and enjoy our theory on how the Quantum Realm could lead to the Avengers recovering everyone who was dusted.